Okay, I think we are a go for Woo Woo Wednesday. I don't have my robe on or any sage burning, but we're going to still get a little bit deeper today and fill it out on your own because everyone's answer is going to be a bit different. Oh gosh, I'm writing in the wrong chat here. One sec. Okay, there's some new AI companion thing here that's Zoom is tripping me up. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that link. Long link to my website. It should be fillable as a PDF. And you'll be able to text type into each field, I believe. Yes, it's showing up on my end that way anyway. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go through this over the next 30 minutes or less. And hopefully you'll all have a finished document that you can refer back to. Because a lot of this stuff is, everyone said it once or twice before, and we want to smash it once and for all. Okay. So you should see this document if you're on the PDF, the Mirror Talk worksheet. All good? Just don't want to move too fast here. Okay. Janelle's nodding. That's a good sign. And now I've got a automated thumb on my screen. Cool. So 7 phrases that are quietly costing you weight loss and the rewrites to put you back in charge. So first things first, all this stuff is just a preamble, but on each page, you'll do 3 things. Read the old sentence and notice if you like start to nod silently in your head. Oh yeah, that's me. We're going to break that. We're going to write a rewrite that gives you a new job. And then you're going to anchor it to one of our habits that we can really tie it all together. So it's an actionable step. It's one thing to write down the belief or break it. It's another thing to actually take an action that ensures that slowly but surely we change that. Okay. So the first phrase is I'm not disciplined. I mean, some people may be more naturally inclined to be more disciplined. I'd argue that a bit. I think it's like a muscle. You can build it. But I think maybe some people are more naturally inclined to be, type A disciplined and some aren't. But it doesn't, we don't want you to give you a free pass to let yourself off the hook. Because anytime you define yourself as something, you will certainly follow through for better or worse. Okay. So the rewrite is I'm someone who keeps small promises to myself. Okay. And then we're going to use the space. What's one small promise you'll keep tomorrow? And here's an example, drinking your water, hit your steps, whatever. That's 2 simple examples, right? But you can do anything. Big stuff gets easier when the little stuff is executed. So type in the chat too, if you can, once you filled out your worksheet, what's one small promise you'll keep tomorrow before noon that ensures you are someone who keeps small promises to yourself? I'm talking in the first person, so myself in this case. I always have good intentions of getting a quick walk in because I feel so much better when I wake up first thing, get outside and walk this time of year. But I always get caught up in work and notifications, and I just sit here with caffeine, mainlining caffeine and getting deep into the work because before my kids get up, I'm like, oh, I got to make use of this time. But for tomorrow, I'm going to commit to at least 10 minutes and I'm going to feel better and I'll be calmer, more patient in my messaging to all you guys, and it'll be actually a win-win for everyone. But it it'll set the tone for a good day. So what's something you guys are going to commit to? I've yet to see anything in the chat, so we're not moving on until we get one small promise. I just want to make sure I type so that I'm in there too. All right. So Janelle's slow morning, 30 minutes with coffee and then walk before breakfast or after breakfast. Gotcha. Good. Anyone else? I know some of you are in cars, you can't type. That's all good.
Mitch, the days I don't swim, I'm like you. I just kind of sit here in the morning, read the paper, drink the coffee, and oh, it's 10 o'clock. So I need to do better. And I think the morning walk or getting my workout done right away would make a difference.
Yes, I like that. They call it eat the frog. You get a small win early, that tends to build momentum.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that's true. Eat the frog.
It's often something we don't, well, we always default to what's easier, coffee on the deck. Oh, sounds like Zen, but the hard thing would set the tone. That's why I do like that cold shower most mornings because I don't want to do it. So it's like, oh, I did something I don't want to do. I got a win from it. I feel good now. Just kind of compounds into making the right choice more often. I like it. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so hopefully you filled that out. Phrase two. Now, these won't all apply to you, but at some point or another, we've said these things, so we're going to break them one by one. I have a slow metabolism. Oh, I lived and died by this one for a better part of my life. Yeah. Biology is the problem, not my behaviors. So the gap between slow metabolism and fast is actually equivalent to a small snack more than a meal. There is a difference. Some people have an easier time. Some people are more naturally inclined to move more. But slow metabolisms, there was research done 2 years ago. Between 30 and 60, it's largely fixed. Our baseline metabolism rarely changes much at all. And then it's less than 1% a year after 60. So what is causing this slowdown that we keep talking about, that everyone talks about initially when they sign up? Well, lack of activity, more stress. We've lost muscle and we continue to rapidly lose muscle because we're not doing the right things. So we're going to just fix that with one thing today. I'm someone who eats enough protein. That's going to help in this regard. So that's the rewrite. So I want you to just share what you ate for breakfast yesterday and was there protein in it? Did I make my life easier by hitting a percentage of my protein target by breakfast? All right. We still got some stuff coming in the chat. Irene, I will walk 3,000 steps before noon. Enter my breakfast foods. Yeah, good idea. We tend to get tracking amnesia if we don't track immediately following. So this is easy for me because it's the same thing every day. And yes, 50 grams. There you go. 30 grams for breakfast yesterday. Perfect. That's the ticket. Get that metabolism going first thing. Anyone else in the chat? What did you eat for breakfast? You're open to sharing. And was there protein in it? Yes, no, maybe so. We got an egg white omelet, turkey sausage, and strawberries. Boom, Sandy, we know you're at it. Yogurt, protein powder, blueberries. Beautiful. Okay, perfect. So most of what we find, at least with slow metabolisms, is they're way under eating protein and overeating everything else. And once we get that balance straight, the cap, whoa, slow metabolism no more. All right. Natural milk. Is that high protein stuff? I think there's a lot of brands of that now. Natural milk. And a smoothie. Perfect. Okay. All right. Phrase three. I just love food too much. It makes you helpless main character of a food story. You're not in control. Food chooses you. I have an addiction to sugar. It's like cocaine. All of that is not necessarily true. And that removes you from the driver's seat in control. Um, and definitely there's cravings are real. We're all biologically driven to probably overeat. It's a flawed system for, the abundance of food we have available today. But we want to rewrite that to, I'm someone who eats most foods on purpose, not all. You're going to have times where you say, F it. I want this ice cream. It's summer. Great. But 80% nutritious, 20% fun. Remember, that's the balance. And we want to get around the guilt that comes with the odd slip up too. Plan for the fries. Okay. So name one food you've been demonizing and let's actually eat it on purpose this week. Your cap will not break with some fries in it. with some ice cream. You plan for it. So, I can't remember. Scoops, I think. There's an ice cream shop in Headingley that I am actively going to bring the kids to this weekend and have some. It's low sugar maple walnut. That's how they advertise it, but it's not that low sugar. But nonetheless, maple walnut, good to go. Chips and dip? Question mark. Yes. Maybe not the whole bag, of course, right? You know your kryptonites, everyone does. Yes, you can have a Big Mac if it fits your cap, right? That's the key. And I'm always for the odd maintenance day. We talk about all the time. Not a big surplus cheat day, but a treat meal built within a maintenance day. If your other 6 days are a deficit, you're going to make progress. Not an open invitation for a free for all, but absolutely guilt free. It's summer. Enjoy the treat. Get back on track the very next meal. Okay. Wow. You guys, this is the most active responses we got to them. Surprise, surprise. Okay. Got some hollow buns. I like that. I used to work at the Ready Center. I'm well aware of how good those are. Halo ice cream. Okay, that's healthy, but that counts. And the old favorite DQ Blizzard. Okay, great. So make sure you do that. Make sure it doesn't lead into a cascade of wrong decisions. That's the crutch, right? But 80% nutritious, 20% fun. Sometimes we got to go to 90%. Something's off, but for the most part, we can make that work. Okay, brace four. I have no willpower. If you say that, guaranteed you're going to lose that tug of war with the cookie jar at 9 p.m. None of us have unlimited willpower, and there is some evidence that it tends to drain. Oh, who am I speaking to? I can't see. Heard somebody chime in. No? Okay. Oh, maybe that was accident. So back to this. Willpower is finite. You've got to make a million decisions a day, tired, drained. End of the day, if your kryptonite food is right there on the counter, no one has the willpower to win that, right? So we're going to rewire this and rewrite it to I'm someone who runs on system, not my emotions, not my mood. I don't know if you saw that email last night, but when we let our emotions dictate our decisions, we tend to make the wrong one because it's easy and it's the most immediate. Whereas we think, what would the healthiest version of me do or say or choose in this moment? And that lets us step outside ourselves a little bit objectively and say, oh, you know what? My optimal version would probably skip the drive-thru today, right? Again, like the previous phrase, you can make the wrong choice and still win here. It's just more often than not, we're trying to, not let our emotions and mood dictate our decisions. Okay. Okay. So what's one decision you can delete this week by deciding once for the whole week? So for the example from last night, or that was a Facebook post. I'm getting my post confused. Not driving by my old drive-through. With this client, she always would go the same route back home from work, and the McDonald smell would suck her in, and then she'd get her old tried and tested. I don't know if it was a Big Mac or what she orders. Well, we actually had her detour, not go by there, not even get that stimulus. So that worked for her. And that kind of broke that chain of that habit of hitting the drive-thru on the way. So it's a little bit more of a complicated question here. But what's one decision you can remove willpower from the equation for the whole week? So not driving by the McDonald's, I guess we'll put here. Texting and talking does not work well for me, obviously. Are you confused on that one or make sense? That's only one example. You could obviously say not buying chips in the first place, so I don't have to fight with them every night over and over till eventually someone in the house eats them. Casino chips. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was from the previous one. Got it. Okay. I like variety for breakfast and lunch, and I vary breakfast. There you go. Good tips coming in the chat. So in terms of this one, what is one decision you're making, maybe this coming Monday, that'll really serve you well throughout the whole week? Example here. Not buying the chips. Insert kryptonite snack. Spelled that wrong. Oh man. Let's type back here. In the first place. Boxes make it hard to type. Jackie's gonna pre-plan end of day sweet treat. Awesome. Pre-logged. Planning dinners in advance on Sundays. Perfect. That's the idea. Yeah. And just because we're halfway through the week, maybe make this a Sunday, Monday thing, but nonetheless, for next week. And pre-planning is coming up a lot. Excellent. Okay. So again, running on systems, not emotions. That's why we like tracking. That's why we like having a plan for your meals because you just follow the plan. You don't make those decisions when you're really hungry, and obviously you choose something wrong. Okay. Okay. This doesn't apply to everyone, but phrase five, I'm not a morning person or I'm not a workout person. Something where you're defining yourself before you even start. And then you keep casting that vote. Keeps you chained, limited, right? So I'm someone whose body adjusts to what I ask of it. That's the rewrite. So maybe it is getting to bed earlier so you can get up on time to work out if that's their thing, or you have to be up early to get your walk in. But by the same token, you could say, no, I'm not a workout person. I hate working out. We need to say something different. It's going to reframe that. I'm lucky I get to work out and I'm capable of working out, along these lines. But in terms of this question, if this applies to you, what time will you be in bed, not going to bed every night this coming week? You know how you feel when you get to bed on the right time versus when you don't. And what is that time for you? My bedtime's been drifting a bit lately. Played hockey last night. That was probably the culprit. But ideally, kids keep pushing their bedtime later. But if I'm asleep by 10:30 and I'm up by 6, feel awesome. Anything after 11:30, I notice that extra hour that I miss. So that's my cutoff. So I need to be 10 p.m. in bed. All right, Janelle, I wish I could do that. That's a really good bedtime. 8:30 to 9. I love it. Early bird. So what is that time for you? And that's great, Irene. That sets up great for 8 hours. So everyone's different. Got 11:15. We got a few morning people here. Okay, good. So a lot of you are already morning people, it sounds like. So this one doesn't necessarily have to be broken, but along those same lines, I'm not insert something. What is it? Maybe fill that in here versus this one if this one's already kind of dialed in for you. I'm not a person that likes protein. I'm not a person that likes working out. We have to try to reframe these things or it's always going to be a struggle. Okay, along the same lines as the metabolism one, I have bad genes. Again, it it puts the blame on your body or your biology versus your behaviors. And we know, even when it comes to health issues, genetics, they might load the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. Your behaviors pull the trigger. And you can change a lot. And there's more and more evidence that epigenetics means you can actually change your genes at the base, the cellular level, which is a hard word to say, by exercising, by eating right, by doing all these things. So I'm someone who shows up to my own life. Now that I read that back, that's probably not the best rewrite for this one, but I'm someone who takes control of my own life or genes or outcomes, something like that. Okay. So the example here was working out. So if I know if I work out 3 times a week, I'm stacking the deck in my favor. So which 3 days will you work out this week? That's kind of the simple question here. So maybe it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe it's something else. Just to kind of reinforce this message. Okay. And I won't ask you to share this one. It's kind of boring. Days of the week aren't going to help us too much, but there you go. Bad genes are a thing of the past when you do the work. Okay, and the last one that we've all said at some point or another is I'll start Monday or I'll start fresh Monday. I'll reset Monday. And it just lets you live in the future while staying the same in the present, like delaying change. And it's a fantasy, right? There's no better version of ourselves in the future until we decide that version is going to make some changes today. Yeah, makes sense, Irene. So I'm someone who starts now, or I'm someone who resets fast, or I'm someone whatever. Okay. So when you start to slide, weekends it happens. Maybe your best laid plans go to crap and you go out somewhere and you drink something you shouldn't or eat something maybe you probably didn't plan to. So how are you going to reset fast? Maybe it's a 10-minute walk in the next hour, not waiting for Sunday night to Monday morning. The walk might be enough to get that momentum back on your side. So when you slip, what's one action you can do in the next 60 minutes afterwards? There you go, Will. Yeah, right. The chat doesn't show up if you join late. So that's the link. So what's one action you can take the next time you slip or start to slide and you start to get in that headspace? The little bee voice in your head says, "Oh, let's just reset Monday. Stop tracking for 3 days." Is it track your next meal? Take a 10-minute walk? I like the water one that was shared there by Wendy because that's immediate. Drink a glass of water. One small win to get momentum back in the right direction. I think this is one of the most, that's why I left it for the last. I think it's the most critical piece. Having a short memory, resetting fast is really the secret to it all. Eat a protein-packed lunch. Good stuff. Yeah, Kim. The best solution to snacking at night is sleeping. Because unless you're a sleepwalker, you can't snack in your sleep. So brush your teeth, get that rest we need, and you don't consume any calories. Win, win, win. I like that one. Okay, good one. So that could slide in here nicely. Just go to bed. Go the F to bed. Boom. All right. Good list there. Anyone else? Drop in the chat. Hopefully you got a completed document. There is a tracker here. If there's one of these areas you really want to dial in, go to the old sentence and the rewrite and the action that you took. And each day, you might want to just focus on one of these, honestly, so that it becomes a bit repetition. But what did I do? Sorry, the old sentence, the rewrite, and then what was the action? That's the key piece. Okay. And that's essentially it. So make sure you save oops, with your changes, not without your changes, if you're going to download this and print or whatever. All right. Okay, let's leave that there. Any questions on this in particular? What was this? All good? Hopefully it resonated. Got some thumbs up. That's all we ask for. Yeah, if you're in your car, just, yeah, print from the link in the chat. I'll send the replay out, which should have the link for those who are watching back. But I encourage you, yeah, fill out the worksheet. What lands is great. Some of it won't land, and that's okay. Just take what you need and discard the rest, and probably use that last tracker to really, hammer it home. I think that's key. Okay, so yeah, last call of May. Next week we'll do more of a like June workshop, getting everyone on the same page with what is going to move the needle for you going into the next. How many days are in June? 30 some? and get you focused there. Dr. Givey's session is in 5 minutes. So those that are registered for that, hopefully you have your own link for that, but I can try to send out one more reminder with it. Okay. Any last questions? Okay. Cool, cool. Quiet group. Next week we'll call on a lot of you to talk so that I don't have to do all the talking. Cheers. Talk soon.